All right, awesome. If you guys do have questions throughout, please just feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll respond to the best of my ability. So for this, we are going to be using the harmonic scanner. Well, either or. I'll actually work off of the Liberty scanner simply because, actually, let me do a poll. If you have the HFX package, drop HFX in the chat. If you have the FRX package, drop FRX in the chat, so I can know which scanner I should actually focus on. All right, we got HFX, HFX. HFX, okay, okay. So for the most part, everybody's HFX. So we'll just work off of the Liberty scanner. So typically, just like when you're getting into any other trades, you want to make sure that you do your fundamental analysis. So check your news, make sure you don't see any red folders. And let me just do it for real as well. In case we see anything good, we can actually take those trades. So always check the news. This is not a step that you want to skip. Simply because I'm always going to say this, it gives you the climate of the market. Especially when you're getting into the FRX market, you kind of want to study trends and figuring out what's happening over the long term. So knowing like what's happening on the day or how that pair is actually moving could help you in your trades. Because let's just say you're doing FRX or HFX and you didn't check the news, but your confirmations look good, but then the trade goes the other way. Something bigger could have happened that could have just thrown everything off. And had you checked this, you would not have had that happen. Now, this is the first step. Because when I am training people one-on-one, I typically say, okay, walk me through what you do. And they either skip this step or they have it out of order, but that doesn't make sense. So check your news. And you just want to make sure you don't see any red folders, essentially around the time frame that you're going to be trading now. With Forex trades, something important to note is that you're going to be in these trades longer than a minute, longer than 5 minutes, right? Maybe even more than an hour. So just keep that in mind. This isn't a trade that you want to put in and watch. You want to put it in, you want to set your TP, you want to set your stop loss, and then you want to leave the trade alone, right? So the time is, it's 7 o'clock. So I just want to see what the news is looking like for the next few hours. So I can see for the next 12 hours if I start here, right, at 7 p.m. and then look all the way until 7 p.m. The only thing I should really be avoiding is AUD, right? So just remind me as we work through the presentation, guys, to not look at AUD because I'll forget. But that's what the red folder is telling us. Don't take those trades because that's essentially a confirmation against what you want to do. Step 2, I'm just going to check live charts really quickly, even though this isn't HFX. You do kind of, again, want to know which currency pair should I be leaning toward? What's the market looking like? Is it more on a buying trend? Is it more on a selling trend? Is it consolidating? So let's see. All right, so I would say when choosing Forex pairs, just if it's easier for yourself, you can choose a pair that you like. If you're going to trade within the time frame that the sell is, the trade is happening. So right now, for example, it's 7 p.m. The Tokyo session starts from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. So you may want to focus on a JPY cross pair, right? Because now the JPY is the major at this time. If it was 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.,
what do you want on your sandwich?
What kind of sandwich you make?
I get distracted so fast. All right. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. is the New York session. So you want to focus on EUR USD pairs. 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. is the Tokyo session. So you can focus on JPY pairs. Now, this isn't set in stone, but it is to give you some guidance because you don't just want to go into the market clicking buttons. From 3 a.m. to noon is the London session. So you do want to trade pairs like EUR, GBP. And then there's the Sydney session that's actually from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. So just make sure that you're being mindful when you're trading. So again, it's 7 p.m. I'm gonna see if I can find something with JPY, maybe Euro JPY, right? It looks to be in the buying trend because the Euro has so much more bars. So we're gonna start there. Euro JPY. Let me just drop this in the chat so I don't forget. This is the pair we're gonna start to analyze unless something else looks better. So you do your fundamental analysis, then you hop on the chart. GoLiberty.im. You log in with your same login that you would use for everything else. I am Academy related. And it's going to pull up your scanner. Now, based on which strategy you choose to use, that's going to help you with your Forex trades. But let's just start with, we can start with simple scalper because it has more confirmations. Actually, no, this is what I want you guys to do because it's simpler since we're doing Forex chart markups. Now, let's just say this is the web slinger, right? No matter which strategy you're using, the first thing that you guys should do, right, is to delete everything off of the chart, because we're going to start completely from scratch. We're going to notice the support and resistance. Then we're going to put the indicators back on there. So it really doesn't matter what strategy you use. So delete everything. I'm going to delete the web strings. I'm going to delete the EMA. I'm going to delete the DMA. You just literally want to delete everything until you just see the naked candles. If y'all with me so far, drop a 1 in the chat. Right? And when you start to analyze your Forex trades, let's start on the 15-minute time frame. And I always have to say this every single time because it's important to note that when getting into the trades, you want to make sure you have the best entry. Now, if you're analyzing your trades on a 15-minute time frame, that means that the next best time to enter your trades would be the 15 minutes from the hour. So let's just say if the time is 7:12, then the next time you can enter a trade would be 7:15. If you miss that trade opportunity on the 15-minute analysis, you can enter the trade at 7:30 or 7:45 or 8 o'clock or 8:15, right? But it would have to be in that 15-minute increment. And this really just gives you more time, again, to study the trend. And the cool thing I like about Forex trades is that if you don't find what you're looking for in the 15-minute time frame, you can just increase the time frame to increase your entry, like a better chance of getting a better entry, because the trend has developed over a longer period of time. So let's just say we don't see the confirmation in the 15, we could take it up to the 30. Let's just say we don't see the confirmations in the 30, we could take it up to the hour, all the way up to 4 hours. And you would just have to wait until the perfect timing, but your entry point will already be set. So here we go, naked scanner. Let me go to Euro JPY. And I'm gonna start with 15 minutes. So the first thing that we really wanna do is we have to understand the chart we're actually looking at, again, so it doesn't really matter which indicators you're using because we're looking at the naked scanner. So let's just zoom out. Now, what you're gonna notice about the chart, and I'm just gonna move it over so that my screen is filled with candles to give you guys a few different examples. What you're gonna notice is whether the pattern is big or small, right? The market only does two things. It can only buy, which means it's going up, or it can sell, which means it's going down. Now, as a trader, these are the points that you're looking for. You wanna look for the reversal points, if you wanna write that down, or you wanna look for the pivot areas in the market, right? How many times, right, has the candle, or how many times have these candles, these things are called candles, revisited the same area, right? And if you can see like a high frequency, like a high frequency, if you can see like a high number of times that the candles touch the same spot, then that's going to be a good pivot area. Now I'm calling it a pivot area because it can be for a buy, or it can be for a sell, or it can actually alternate depending on what's going on. And I'll demonstrate that when I mark up my chart. Now, this is what you would want to do, right? You would want to delete, if you're going to start from the beginning, you would want to pretty much delete everything off of your scanner, and you would just want to pretty much find an area where you see similar activity, right? And that's where you want to start to put your horizontal lines. Now, first, I'm just going to start to circle these areas where I see a lot of candle activity. Then I'm going to put my lines, and I'm going to show you how these things actually correspond to entry points. So I'm going to circle this area right here. I'm going to circle this area right here. I'm going to circle this area right here, this area, here, right? And I'm circling these areas because these are areas I typically, if I can see at least 3 candles in that area, sorry y'all, it's loud down here, then that's going to be a good area of either support or resistance. If it's at the top, it's going to be considered an area of resistance because that's where the market tends to sell. I'm sorry, y'all. 1 second. All right, y'all. So pretty much as a trader, you're looking for these reversal points in the area because they're going to literally tell you where to buy or sell, but you have to be able to recognize them before you can actually like get into the trade. So we can see right here, this is a good area of resistance. Why is this a good area of resistance? Because let me use a different color. Because the market was down here, right? Then we saw that the market went up, right? It actually was somewhere here. We saw that the market went all the way up to here, but when it hit this point, right, it came back down, right? And I'm just going to draw the pattern out. It came all the way back down here, then it went up, and then it came down, then it came up, then it came down. The I'm sorry, the market literally touched this area at least 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So we can say every time the market gets to that price point, 9 times out of 10 is going to sell. And same thing, we can see that the market hit this point, it bought, it bought, it bought, it bought, it bought, it bought. And this is 15-minute candles. So that means that for 15, 30, 45, an hour, it was buying, right? It was buying, right? So if we were to put a horizontal line right here, and this is just, again, helping you understand what you're looking at before we actually get into adding indicators or anything. So when you do see collections of wicks like this, or you see like an area of the chart that your eyes are drawn to, that's where you want to put a horizontal line, because wherever you put that line actually becomes your entry point, right? So I'm just going to put a few of these lines on the chart. I'm just going to put a few again on those areas that I highlighted, because I can see this will be a good area to buy, right? And the price would be 129.599. I could see that this would be a potential good area to sell. We see 1, 2. It did sell twice here. It hit it right here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then we see that we had a little breakout. So not 9 times out of 10, but the market will always stay within the zone, and then it will break out of that zone to create a new zone. But whenever the candles are between 2 lines, the top line is where you sell, the bottom line is where you buy, right? And it's always just going to be where you see that pattern. And again, I'm just going to draw it so that we can see. We can see that there's a pattern down here, right? The market was within this zone, right? It was within that zone. But then we have a bigger pattern. The market it broke out of the zone. This was a resistance zone at one point in time, but then the market broke out of the zone. I'm gonna just put this line here, right? And then it was another zone. It was in another zone for a while, and it would have stayed in that zone, right? But it dropped and it broke into a new zone, right? And then it was in this zone for a while, and then it broke, and then it was in this zone. If you guys can see that, just drop 1 in the chat. Okay, awesome. So when it comes to your Forex trades, you want to, 1, understand where those reversals are so your eyes can be drawn to it. And then when you put the indicators on top of it, it's going to be even easier to find entry points. Now, the thing I like about Forex and just trading in general is that, sorry, my computer's going to die. The thing I like about Forex in general is just how it's a lot of different ways to look at the chart. You can be very, very, very simple. Like, I'm a very simple trader. I don't need to look at a lot. Or you can be a very, very, very technical trader, which means a method like a strategy like Simple Scalper has over 6 indicators. Simple Scalper 2.0 has 6 indicators. The Web Slinger has 20 indicators, and Pickpocket has about 3 to 5. Now you can really pick and choose the indicators that you like to really create your own strategy. And I'm just going to show you guys to. No, Sophia, I have my charger. The plug just isn't working. Let me see what percentage my phone is on, y'all. I mean, my computer. 1 second. Ooh, 2. Give me 1 second because it's plugged up. It's just not charging.
There's one right here.
I know it wasn't working. Let's see if it worked. No, that didn't work. No, it's still not working. Oh, man, thank you. I'm gonna try another plug. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Let me just move my seat. I'm gonna try to find a better charger. Let's see. All right, y'all, we in business. We in business. Let me just go back to the GoLiberty Scanner. Hopefully it lets me log in. Hopefully it lets me log in. It doesn't say I'm logged in. All right, awesome. Sorry about that, y'all. But it's okay because we just was going to add the indicators back to the chart anyway. So let me delete this stuff off of the chart. and show you guys how to actually add 2 or 3 simple indicators and how you actually use that to get into the trades. So let me go back to Euro JPY. I'm gonna start on the 15-minute. I'm gonna delete these indicators and I'm gonna put my own on there. Make sure you delete everything except the candles. And you on the harmonic scanner, it's already pretty much there's nothing there, so you have to build it from scratch anyway. All right, awesome. So, and I really want you guys to write this down and take notes on this part. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is click where it says indicators. After you delete everything, you choose your time frame. You're gonna click this little thing right here where it says indicators. And I want you to search for the SAR, right? It's gonna be SAR, or you can write it down to do it later. It's the parabolic SAR. And this is an indicator that a lot of us are familiar with, but maybe you don't know what it's called. I just tend to call it the purple dots. And when you add it to your screen, it shows up very light and yellow. So you can just click on it to modify it. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna just change the color. I'm gonna change it to dots, circles, because that's what I'm used to seeing. And I'm gonna just make it a little bit thicker so we can all see it, right? So can we see those dots? Let me get some 7s in the chat if you guys can see the dots on my screen. Okay, thank you. Now, this indicator, again, is called the parabolic SAR, and it's just a trend indicator. So what I'm gonna do is give you guys an indicator in each category. I'm gonna give you a trend indicator. I'm gonna give you a momentum indicator, and I'm going to give you like a additional confirmation indicator. The SAR, it's telling you about the trend, right? Now, when I teach by trigger words. Buys are going to be associated with certain trigger words. So if you see something that is above, up, over, higher, right? If it's blue, if it's up, if it's above, if it's over, if it's higher, that's going to be everything associated with a buy, and vice versa for a sell. If it's red, below, under, lower, it's going to be a sell. Now, if we look at this current candle, is the current candle above or below the purple dot? And y'all know I need to take my little tallies because this will help you when you're doing your analysis. Always write down for the B, for the S, and write down who is winning, right? Bianca, right? Auntie, Darius, it's above. So we're going to give the buyers 1 point. So far, if these were the only confirmations we were using, based on what we see, we would go for that buy in 15 minutes, but that's not enough. We need to know the trend. But not only that, we need to know the momentum of the buyers at this current moment. Are they actually going to continue to drive the market up? What is going on? So that's when you would want to add, it's a momentum indicator, or like I said, I like simple things. These will be the lines, right? So if you use simple scalper, or if you use Cashapp, or if you use, I think that's the only ones that use it, you will see something like, come on, indicators. You will see the RSI, right, which stands for relative strength index, or you will see the stochastic oscillator, which they're pretty much the same. So you can choose either the RSI, or you can choose the stochastic RSI, which is both of them together, right? And it looks like that, right? Now, the reason why I like the particular stochastic RSI is because it's essentially 3 indicators in one, right? It's 3 indicators in one because it's telling you about not only the momentum, but let's zoom in. Not only the momentum, but who's in charge, right? Because if the blue, and I'm gonna just go back to the past to show you a good example, right? If the blue with the stochastic RSI, if the blue, which means the buyers, are above, like literally on top of the red, that would be another point for the buyers, right? So far, that would be 2 confirmations for a buy. And if the red is on top of the blue, like for example, right here, if you guys can see, let me just circle it with my mouse. If you guys can see this, right? How the red is over the blue, and we also have a red candle, right, under the purple dot. If you guys can see how that's a great alignment for a sell, just drop some 7s in the chat. All right, thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Jackie. So these are like really simple things that you can look for. Now I'm just gonna go back to the past. And again, so far we only added 2. Hey, Amina, Black and Wealthy. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys again, just a quick example of a buy and just how to spot it visually really quickly. So let's just say we have a blue candle. And again, we're gonna get more technical, but these are the bases and they'll help you. Could you put a pending order for the sell? Absolutely. So let's just say you had, let me get a better one. Ooh, look at this. I'm gonna you're in the chat for the blue candle. So with this particular example, right, we have a blue candle, check. We have a purple dot, it's above the purple dot, check. We have the blue line, like, and it's a separation, actually a little gap. And that's actually a really good tip. The further the gap is between these two lines, the stronger the trend. So this looks like a strong buying trend, and we can also see that being reflected in this strong blue candle. If you guys can actually see that, like how all those things are aligning and corresponding, just drop a 7 in the chat. We see the blue candle above the dot and the high momentum from the blue line over the red line. All right, so these are like, this is very simple. And these are, again, confirmations you could collect to get into the trade. So I'm going to circle another candle, and you guys just tell me if it's good for a buy or a sell, and how many confirmations do you see, right? So I'm going to circle a candle. No, actually, let me know. Let me just use 2 vertical lines and tell me what you see. Hold up. If it's a buy or a sell, and how many confirmations are there. So there we go. We're going to focus on this candle between the 2 lines. Let me know. All right, so I see sell 3 confirmations, and I see 1, 2, 3. Yep, so that was pretty easy. So now let's go to a different candle and let's see what that's about. What about this, y'all? Is this a buy or sell, and how many confirmations? All right, I see sale. That's the old one. Buy 2. Yep, 2. Buy 3. Okay, I can see how y'all would say 3 if you're considering the line facing up. But yeah, that's pretty good, guys. So far, you guys actually know how to spot a buy and how to spot a sell. Now it comes to, when do I get in? How do I get in? Now the cool thing is, once you get your confirmations, you just have to wait for the time, right? Now the time is currently 7:28. That means that at 7:30, we actually have the opportunity to get into a trade. So let's go check out. Come on, son. So let's go check out what's happening currently in the market, and y'all tell me what we should do, if anything, at the moment. So let me know if we're going to buy, sell, or increase the time frame based on what I told y'all earlier. All right, there we go. Buy, sell, or increase the time frame based on what's happening now. All right, so it could be a potential buy, right? That candle's a little weak. And this is when you do want to get more technical, because after you can identify it, I'm glad you guys can identify it. The next question would be for a buy, right? Because it has to be, does it have a flat bottom, right? Look at this candle, perfect blue candle. Does it have a flat bottom, right? And for a sell would be, does it have a flat top? So in that case, because it does not have a flat bottom, we would probably want to wait, because it has a wick. Let me just zoom in so y'all can see that. If y'all see this little wick, that means that this market can turn around anytime. It's not on a steady buying increase, right? It's not on a steady buying increase. But let me tell you guys a little bit more about this stochastic RSI indicator and how it's actually 3 indicators in one. So the first thing, if you see the blue over the red, that's just telling you that the buyers are in control. If you see the red is over the blue, that means that the sellers are in control, right? But you see this red box, right? This red box is kind of like the average area of where price is and where price likes to stay comfortable, right? Now, what you're going to notice is that once, let me actually circle it too. Once price breaks this line, right? This line right here, once price actually breaks that line, it's actually telling you that there are way too many buyers in the market. It's called the overbought zone, right? It's telling you that there are too many buyers in the market, and that eventually the sellers are going to come in. So look what happens, right? Anytime, and write this down, please. Anytime you see 2 lines cross, anytime an indicator has 2 lines and they cross, that's telling you that the market is going to turn around. So look at this, right? We had a cross, right? Not only that, the market was also overbought, right? Which means if it's overbought, it has to sell. And look what happens. We get a nice red candle. We get the cross, we get the red line over the blue line, and we get the market trying to go back down. But then look what happens. It didn't get back into the regular zone yet. It's still continuing to buy, but eventually there's going to be a major sell because it's way past the buying line, right? If that makes sense, y'all, drop a 7 in the chat. Thank you, Miss Amina. Right, and then vice versa, if you see that the candles have broken out of the zone, again, the same things that the candles are doing up here, look, y'all, right? The same thing that the candles are doing up here, the stochastic RSI is going to be doing down here, right? It's just a mirror of what's happening and telling you about the current momentum in the market. So if it's at the top, overbought, it must sell eventually, right? It may keep buying for a little bit, but it's literally letting you know it's out of the buying zone. Buyers are out of momentum. The sellers are coming for them, right? And same thing at the bottom. Sellers are out of control. Like literally, they're not in control anymore, and the buyers are going to take over. So let's look right here. We see right here, we see the cross, right, of the two lines. And at that cross, we see the blue line coming over the red line, telling us that the market was about to buy, which it did, right? Which it actually did. So we had the blue candle, we had the blue line over the red line, we had it oversold, and then we had a buying trend for about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 2 hours, right? We had a little pullbacks, but it was a buying trend for about 2 hours. Now, if you guys think that these indicators are easy to recognize and understand, right? Just drop easy in the chat because we're only going to add one more, right? Easy, peasy, easy. All right, awesome. And what you guys should do, because sometimes the scanners act a little crazy, anytime you add an indicator, just click this little save cloud right here. It's going to save everything you did. So let's click save. Right, I'm gonna click save, and I'm just gonna save this as easy HFX, right? Easy HFX strategy. Right, so now every time I log in, anytime I log in, let me just refresh this page. My strategy will be right there for me. So I'm gonna do a little bit of lots, but I don't want to use Web Slinger. I'm going to click this arrow next to my cloud, click save, load chart layout. And then I'm going to click easy HFX. There we go. Now, the thing is, it's always going to take you back to the currency pair that you started with, but you can just, of course, go to something else. Let's see if we want to do AUD, USD, GBP, JPY. And see how that's looking on the 15. Look, our indicators are still there. This is such a good setup, guys. So based on what is happening now, we missed the trade idea at 7:30. Would this have been a good trade idea for a buy, a sell, or a wait based on the 7:30 entry point? Crystal says buy. Nikia says buy. Exactly. We definitely would have bought. We had our blue candle. We had our purple dot, our SAR. We had the blue line above the red line facing up. Now we know it's going to sell eventually, but if it was at 7:30, we definitely could have got into that trade. Now we're going to add the last indicator. We're going to use everything we just learned, and then we're going to get into a trade either for 7:45 or 8 p.m. It's getting dark. So, all right. So the last indicator that we're going to add, you're going to click on indicators, then you're going to click on volume. And you just want to click the very first one. It's going to bring up those volume bars that we love to see on Simple Scalper. But you're going to notice that it's green and red. Obviously, we want it to be blue and red, so you just click on it and modify it. So the growing, which is the buyers, just change it to blue. Here. There we go. And let me turn this off too. No, let me leave it on. So now the only thing you would want to match up as well is the volume bar the same color as the candle. That's literally the only extra thing. So essentially you would read your chart like this. The same way the vertical lines are there, you would say, I have a blue candle. That's a 1 point. It's above the dot. That's the second point. The volume bar is blue. That's another point. My blue line is above my red line, and it's actually still facing up. Like, even though we know it's overbought and it is going to sell, it's still looking, it's giving very much buy. It's giving very much buy on GBP JPY. So that would have been a good entry. Good entry. So we got 10 minutes. I mean, if this is good, this is a potential idea. GBP JPY at 7:45 for a buy. But I'm gonna hold off because it is overbought. So let's look for it. Let's look at it for 8 o'clock and see how that looks for us. It's a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy. But as you guys can see, and this is another really cool thing to what Elle asked about earlier. If you take this horizontal line, and now that we know, because remember we started from the naked scanner, if we take this horizontal line, we can see that this is a great area of resistance, right? we can literally look at that and see that that is a great area of resistance. And this is a potential great area of support because we see the candles, or even move it higher, right? We see the candles staying in that zone, right? We see this. We see the resistance, we see the support. We see the resistance, we see the support. We see the resistance, we see the support, right? We see the resistance. So in regard to your question earlier, L, you actually can set a pending order. Like, let's just say you guys look at this and you'll be like, okay, cool. I see the candles were staying in that zone. I see that every time it got to this price here, 152.588 is sold. So you can actually set a pending order, right, for 152.588 so that when it does get to that point in the market, you can just get in for a sell. So how you would do that is go to your MetaTrader 4 app, and instead of like just getting into the trade, buy or sell, it says market execution, right? If you click on that, you have 5 options. You have market execution, buy limit, buy stop, sell limit, and sell stop. This would be, I'm not sure. It will either be a sell limit or a sell stop. Sell limit. I think the sell limit is if it goes down before it goes back up, right? And I think the sell stop is if it goes up and then you expect it to come back down. Just look it up to clarify. Okay, cool. Thank y'all. So pretty much y'all could set pending orders based on this markup, or again, you could just wait for that newest candle, get in that market execution. So we don't see nothing too good over here. Let's look at another pair really quickly using our indicators. And yeah, let's look at Euro USD. Let's see how she's doing. Let's start on the 15th for the 745 entry. How does 745 looking, y'all? Good, bad, or wait? Let me know, y'all. Should we get in at 745 based on this analysis? Jackie says wait. Auntie says wait. Okay, let's check it in the 30. You guys are actually correct for the wait. Let's check it in the 30. All right, in the 30, it's getting it together. It's getting a little bit better. Somebody tell me, I switched it to a higher time frame. What are we actually waiting for in order to feel comfortable about this trade? What will be the last indicator? What do we need to happen? Yep, the red is over. Well, in the 30-minute. Yes, Darius. Yes. So we don't have it in the 30, but let's see if we can get in at 8 o'clock. Let's see if things are aligning in 8. Oh man, so Euro USD is just not looking good for us today, y'all. Everything's not aligning. So let's check out something else. Nope. USD CHF. Let's see how USD CHF goes. All right, we got that on the hour. Somebody tell me at 8 p.m. USD CHF, you getting in or you're waiting? USD CHF at 8 p.m. Yep. We're gonna wait. Now we could do the same thing backwards. Let's take it down to the 30, see if we can get a quick sell in, a little scalp in. Nope. Not looking too good. So pretty much this is what y'all do. Y'all literally just you set up your scanner, and then you just find a pair that works for you. So we can see USD CAD is not good in the hour, but let's see. Let's take it up a little bit. Nah. That thing thanging. Not good. 15. Okay, USD CAD. Y'all see this? This is a great setup for a quick little 15-minute sell. I would do like a quick little 10 or 15 pip. We have a nice, it may not drop for too long, but you may be able to get a little bit of money because we can see we have the red candle. We see it's under the parabolic SAR. We see the volume bar lines. We see the red is over the blue. But somebody tell me why this is only a scalp and not a long-term trade. What is our stochastic RSI telling us about price? What is about to happen soon? Overselling. Yes, exactly. Close that it will cross and buy. Yes, exactly. Not that it will buy, but it'll start to consolidate because it's not in such a strong selling trend. So you guys you're getting it. This is amazing. All right, let's find a good one that we can enter at 7:45. Okay, y'all look at NZD USD. Setting up for something cute. Nah, the 4 hours is a little sketchy. Let's try 30. Nope, let's try 15. Okay, all right, y'all. NZD USD looking a little interesting for 15, but then it gets sketchy in the 30. That's gonna be a risky one, but I think it's gonna drop. And the cool thing is that if you guys want even more indicators, you don't have to stick to this. I want you guys to just have something so basic and so clear and so plain that you literally can just log in any time of the day, look at this and make money. But if you want to, of course, get more technical, just use a strategy. Now that you know the confirmations, just use a strategy. Let's click simple scalper. Right, and now this is simple scalper, y'all. Don't y'all feel so much better looking at this now that you understand the market? Drop a one in the chat if you know what you're looking at right now, right? For a Forex trade right now. All right, cool. So again, the thing I like about the IM Academy scanners is that they're already preset. You don't have to build that strategy. So you can even dissect this to make it easy. Like again, you can just basically take off one of these, right? Same thing, and take off the Bollinger Bands, right? Now you have the same exact strategy, but I actually want it to be full so we can have more confirmations. I'm looking for the Bollinger Band. So I can see that reversal, right? All right, we got about 3 minutes. Oh, what is this? We got about 3 minutes. I don't see nothing looking good. Let me go back to this one. Boop, boop, boop. And this is literally how I find my trade ideas for you guys. I just come on here, I do a quick scan of what's going on. I drop them in the chat. All right, Euro AUD is not. Oh, AUD is a dub. Y'all was supposed to remind me. GBP CAD. GBP CAD is not looking too good for the hour. Like, and sometimes you just gotta wait. All right, y'all. GBP CAD for the 15 is cool. GBP CAD for the 30. Let's look at it in an hour. So y'all literally just saw what just happened. GBP CAD, you can get in for like a little sell, but we can clearly see sellers losing momentum. And then the next hour, the market is going to buy. We can see that. Oh, it looked like it was. In the next 4 hours, it's going to buy. All right, y'all. I'm not teaching anything at this moment. I'm just looking for a good trade for y'all to get into. All right, USD CAD. Oh, sketchy. USD CAD. Oh. USD. See, y'all, there's no good setups at this moment. I'm gonna start looking in the 4 hour really quickly just because it is about to be 8 o'clock. So at that particular time, the 15 minute, the hour, and the 4 hour are all going to cross over. So let's see if we can get a good one for the 4 hour, because as y'all can see, like I can see, nothing's looking great. So if you don't find anything, don't get discouraged. If your mentors aren't dropping signals in the chat, it could just be that there's nothing going on for us to take. And we don't want to put you into a bad trade just being greedy, because there actually are perfect setups. There are some really perfect setups. Oh, that's a good one. Look at that. Yeah, pretty much, Crystal. Everything's trying to set up. So Euro JPY, I probably would go for that, honestly. I probably would go. So yeah, you guys can continue to, I really want to find a good, okay, that looks good. CADJPY. CADJPY looks good. Let me know if that looked good to y'all on the hour for CADJPY for 8 o'clock to get in for a buy. Let's see what's happening. It's going to be a little pushback from the sellers, but they'll get over it. They'll get over it. I'm just trying to decide if this is even worth it. I think it is. I really think CADJPY is worth it, because as we can see, if we look at it on the hour, there's a blue candle. If we look at it on the 4 hour, there's also a blue candle telling us that it does have the potential to keep buying. And as we can see, because the Bollinger Bands is now added, right? The Bollinger Bands tells us that we have a built-in support, right? The candle is already pushing up on that support line, meaning once it hits that, it's like a rubber band. It's going to literally bounce back off. Now let's zoom out so you can see what I mean, right? You see the candle was surfing. It bounced off, right? It bounced off of the support and then it bought, right? It bought all the way up here until it bounced off the resistance. And then it sold. And then it bounced off the resistance. And now it's dropping and it's bouncing off the support. So I would say CADJPY at 8 p.m. for a buy, right? Make sure you set your TP. Make sure you set your SL. That would be a good idea. If you don't know how to do that, let me give you the skinny real quick. This is what you do. Why does it say 240? Anyway, this is what you do. If you're going for a buy, you want to click this tool. A buy is considered, even with the SAR on top. Yeah, I would say even with the SAR on top, because with the SAR, from just my interpretation right now, is like, I know that this market is on a downtrend, right? Most of the candles are falling under the EMA, the 200 EMA, all the candles are under here. So this market really has been on a downtrend for a minute. However, it's looking like it really wants to turn around. And there's two reasons why I'm saying that. One, because it's pushing up on the Bollinger Band. The SAR is just telling us that it's a strong selling trend right now, which we can visually see. It's pushing up against the Bollinger Band, one. The blue volume bar looks like it really might want to pick up. And also, we can see that it's oversold, so it has to break through and come back into the zone to buy. Does that make sense, Darius? Okay, awesome. So I probably would go for it. You probably would be in this trade for a few hours, and it may go back and forth between blue and red, but oh, it's 7:47. I don't know if anybody got in. Let me go get in and see what happens with this. Let me know if y'all got in. Drop a 1 in the chat. What's this? CADJPY. All right, awesome. So let's see if I get into that. Now, pretty much how you calculate your TP, and SL, you click this. If you're going long, that's a buy. If you're going short, that's a sell. I'm gonna do the long position because I got in for a buy. You could click anywhere on the screen, doesn't matter. Click there. Click on it to open the details. And you want to click coordinates because you want to plug in your own numbers. Now, my entry price was 87.180, right? That was my entry point. Now, let's just say I want to do 20 pips. You always put the number of pips you want, 20, right? And then add a 0 or times the number of pips you want by 10. So I'm going to do 200 there for the TP, and I'm going to do 200 there for the stop loss. And it gives me exactly what to plug in. Oh, sorry, y'all. So my TP is going to be 87.181. I'm going to modify my trade, 87.181. And my stop loss is going to be 86.980. There we go. So now, I need to change my TP. All right, so basically you just let the trade go until it either hits your TP or it hits your stop loss. And that's pretty much it, guys, for a quick FRX markups. You can do it manually on your own, or you can just use the strategies that are already there to really get into some really decent trades. And if you really want to get more technical and use this box, it's very simple. If it's a buy, you place this box. You want to place the green where the candle starts. So let me just show you, for example. And if it's a sell, you do the same thing. So since it's a go long, the green is at the top. So let's just say the candle that we got in was this blue candle right here. I would just make sure the green starts at the bottom of the blue candle, because it tells me realistically, does my candle have the potential to, do you think it's going to go into this space? And it's like, it could go 20 pips, but we don't see any candles 20 pips. We see maybe right here. And the cool thing about this is you can do this, right? You don't have to replug in the numbers. You could be like, all right, well, my market may not reach there, but it may reach there. And now you have a new TP, right? And same thing, let's just try it with the sell so that you can understand. So you click this. If we were going for a sell, you click this. You would click short position, right? And you would enter whatever your actual entry price is. You would put what you want your TP to be, 200 pips, put what you want your SL to be. Make sure the middle line starts on top of the red candle. Right, the middle line, and then this is, make sure the middle line, and then this is good. This will be good for 20 pips. This is good. And do you know why that's good? Because if we look at this candle, the candle actually is in that green zone. That's perfect. We could have definitely got 20 pips off of that candle. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. If the candle is within, it's literally within your profit zone. Like it's literally in your profit zone. And you can see that if it's realistic or not, right? All right, I'm gonna give y'all one more example and y'all tell me if the candle is in the profit zone or not for 20 pips. All right, we're gonna focus on this red candle here. Is the candle in the profit zone for 20 pips? Or should we lower it for less pips? Okay, Crystal said lower it. Okay, Jackie says in the profit zone. I mean, both of you guys are correct. You can do 20 pips because that's standard, or you could be like, well, it didn't do 20 pips last time, so I'm gonna do what it did last time. And you click on that, and then look at that, 10 pips. Sophia loves 10 pips. So 10 pips, you could have got in 10 pips at, even if you did $2 a pip, that would have been $20 in not that long, very short time, 15 minutes, $20 in 15 minutes. That's pretty cool. How many pips for SL and TP, 15 and 30? Well, it's going to be up to you, Darius. 20 is a safe, like 20 is safe, but the reason why I'm showing you is how you can modify it is based on what the market is doing. Now, this particular candle, we had it set at 20 pips, and we can see the candle was in the profit zone, but it didn't reach all the way down to the profit zone. So we literally would just lower our visual green box to make sure the candle was in the profit zone and that we have a higher chance at increasing our TP. And then we click on it and we can see that's 110 pips. That's about 11 pips. That's nothing. If you do $1 a pip, you could have made $11 in 15 minutes. If you do $2, you could have did $22 in 15 minutes and so on and so forth. That makes sense, y'all. Drop some sevens. Yeah, exactly, Crystal. It's in profit either way, but it is safe to do 10 pips. But this is the trick, y'all. This is the trick. If you know that the market has a higher probability of hitting your TP, right, with 10 pips, increase your lot size, right? Increase your lot size so that you're making the same amount of money off of shorter market movement, right? Or Sophia also loves to do this. You can twin trade. So twin trade would be, instead of me getting into this trade, right? And this is a good one, Tabriana, you're gonna like this too. Instead of getting into this trade, let's just say our entry point was 100. And we set our trade at 20 pips. So the TP will be 120, right? But let's just say the market don't look like it's going there. We could still get 20 pips, but instead of entering the trade once for 20 pips, we would enter the trade twice for 10 pips. So we would get in and then we would get in again. And instead of setting 20 pips, we would set 10 pips for 2 trades. So they're both going to smack TP at the same time, obviously, because you have the same TP. It may have a different entry point, but you're making double the money. Right? Think about it in this way, like HFX. You can re-enter the trade as many times as you want and smack TP 2 or 3 times on the same trade. If that really makes sense, y'all, and y'all get it, you can do 20 pips, 1 trade, or 2 trades, 10 pips each. Drop some sevens, and then we're going to leave it there. All right, y'all, bet. So that's really all I have for y'all. I really want everybody to be able to look at the charts and understand it. I want you guys to be able to analyze this with a blink, like literally like at the blink of an eye, because it is super simple. And just one more, I'm gonna just change this time frame to 30 minutes, and y'all just tell me the analysis for this trade really quickly. Tell me if it's a buy or if it's a sell, how many confirmations you see, if you're gonna wait. Just type a quick analysis of what you see in the chat. Buy. Yep, you guys are saying buy. By the way, this CADJPY, my CADJPY literally took me out in profit at 9 cents. That's hilarious. That's how you know that John was like, it hit TP so quick, right? Right? If y'all in profit, just go drop some blue faces in the chat for me. Go drop some blue faces in the RTP chat, Cosmic Club chat. Let them know it's a learn and earn session. If you want to take off your TP, modify it because now you know how. Feel free to do that. Go reanalyze your trade. Get out and get back in. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all. I'm gonna stop here. We do have another training right now. I forgot what it is, but check the chat. But it's not gonna be on this link, guys. We're gonna be starting a new link. So I do appreciate y'all for coming to learn. And yeah, send those screenshots, right? Send those screenshots of the blue faces, right? Once you make money or hit TP. So that's all, folks. And I'll send Shamar this recording so he can upload it for y'all. You're welcome. Do you guys have any questions before I go? Any final questions? Okay. All right. Awesome. 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 Awesome.